Right, we are coming to you live from Kenyatta University, and this is the 17th edition of Kenya University Sports Federation happening right here at Kenyatta University. Behind me, we have a couple of, matches, and of course, just to be precise, we have a match between Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology against Maseno University. But before we bring you up to speed with what is happening, just to give you some intrigue, I'm not alone. I'm joined by my able co-host, that is Elizabeth. Elizabeth, first of all, say something about it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Elizabeth. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to be watching this match live. Yes.
All right. So, Elizabeth, yesterday was quite a very interesting encounter. I remember we had a total of 24 teams, 12 from men's side and 12 from women's side. What really, stood out for you yesterday, even as our eyes, or rather we focus on the second day of this Kenya University Sports Federation Games, to be precise, the basketball. What was the standout, game, or rather what can you pick from day one, now heading to day two?
Okay, what I've understood from my analysis from yesterday's matches, there's some teams that didn't bring in their A games yesterday, but today, as you can see, some of the teams, let's say example JQuat has really brought its A game today, and they are right now they are in front of Maseno by 20 with 28, while Maseno has 9. That's a really improvement from yesterday. Yesterday they had some, from my observation, yesterday they had some few challenges. Like their teams are not well coordinated for me on my side. And what about you? Which team do you think has stood out from you from yesterday and today?
Well, for me, I'll say it was a really a spirited fight from the 12 teams. And to be precise, you remember like Group B was played here, Group B and C. And of course, it was quite amazing to see what this team really stood, or rather stand out. For me, a standout performer was the Mount Kenya University. The first match they played against Strathmore University, a very strong team. Then they were beaten, but they went back, put their house in order. They regrouped. Their second match they won. Their third one they won. As we speak, there is an ongoing match between Africa and Nazarene, and one of the most important things that you need to pay attention to, Africa and Nazarene, they won their conference, and actually them coming to this was by the virtue of being the league, or rather the winners of that particular conference, the Nairobi North Conference. And of course, it can tell you the caliber of the team that Mount Kenya are meeting. So Mount Kenya were second, still Nairobi South Conference League. And that was quite intriguing and quite amazing and interesting. But it's also important to pay attention to the fact that every team is equal to the task. These are very strong and dominant teams, if you ask me. And for me, that is something that has really, awakened my understanding of the basketball. It's not about the name. The basketball, it's about the strategies, how you plan yourself, and of course, how you bounce back from defeat. That's what matters at the end of the day. And you mentioned a good example. We have JQuat, who are playing against Maseno University. Remember their match against Maseno University, they were beaten by the same team. But now, as you can see, the trajectory are quite different. And it's all about strategy, picking up from the losses and, of course, building on that for the next game. So if things stand out the way they are, then this is a team that will be matching all the way to the quarterfinals. And you never know what might happen in the quarterfinals. So this is really a thrilling encounter. We call it the extravaganza basketball affairs. On your end, I don't know really what stood out for you now that we are in day two.
For me, what has really stood out is that these teams today they are in it to win it. Today they are in it to get the goal. Every team wants to make it to the semifinals, and not every team will be able to make it to the semifinals. So today, all players, all teams, all schools must really give out their A games, must really try their best so that they can make it to the semifinals, and where they will proceed, where the best teams will proceed to tomorrow for the finals and the final match to win the cup that they were all came here for. Yes, that's what really stood out for me today.
And I know time is running pretty quick. Remember, we already have the first quarterfinals against Strathmore. of course, they are the winners. So remember, we are coming to you live on KUTV and, of course, B Plus Media. And we want to throw this discussion back to the studio to our able host, just to give you an intriguing aspect of the entire coordination of this sports and why it means to you as a community, as a university, and of course, as a basketball enthusiast.